So would you like to go inside?
I think we would.
Yeah, why not?
Like the mountain upon which it's climbed, the interior of Queen Anne's throne is black volcanic rock, and there has absolutely been one hell of a fight in here very, very recently. A bit like the actor's blood bar, there's blood smeared across the walls. Quite a lot of it is abyssal chicken blood, though. Like you can, Mary Berry, you can smell the stench of evil coming off it, and Count, you can just smell the stench of abyssal coming off it. There's kind of black inky smears of murdered creatures. Clearly something and someone has been fighting back. The mystics are not going down easy. And there are certain branching halls you can of a fight still ranging somewhere within the mountain. But it's actually quite easy to find your way deeper in towards the kind of cavernous hall that is the heart of this place. Because obviously the heat, the light, the general pounding and grumbling of the earth below. It is your classic essentially pier of volcanic rock heading out over an ancient falling pit beneath which raging fires still burn, like properly hair curling at the end, kind of rising heat coming off it. And stood at the end of this platform, almost exactly where you need to be, it turns out, to get that contract into the pit, are a number of figures. Some of these you already recognise. There are indeed 3 abyssal chickens, and they're just sat there curled up quite cutely, like the way the kind of bird does, with a sort of feather and head turned in. And if they weren't covered in human blood ripped from recently living people, they'd be so fluffy and cute. And they are flanking a figure in just a long black cloak, a very tall, very slender figure just stood in a long black cloak, the face kind of hidden and shrouded by the hood, but it's clearly just stood there waiting for you, saying not a word and blocking your path.
I think it's
Guess
a producer by any chance.
Kimmy's going to take out her hook swords and say, "Would you mind stepping aside just for a second?"
To the figure with the cloak. As you do, the Leonardo grabs your arm and whispers, "That's her, that's her, that's the producer, that's the producer." And at the sight of hook swords being drawn, I think that 2 things are going to happen. Firstly, the producer's just going to pull back the cloak, the hood of the cloak, and underneath you see, some might call it the face of a female drow, but the face of a female drow should not be melting and then reforming and then melting and reforming and then melting and reforming, like the inside of a vortex with every second, just yellow slime ripping off it. A female drow should not have kind of waxy goo running out of its sleeves. That's the first thing that happens. The second thing that happens is that at sight of your hook swords being drawn, the abyssal chickens, their heads turn like one, fix you with a gaze, and I'd like everyone just to roll me initiative, please.
10.
11.
Yeah.
21.
Oof.
Ooh,
nice.
blimey. 21, so just going to do a little bit of rolling for a second. Let's see how Leonardo does.
And 12 for small.
Nice.
What did I get?
I'm just about to roll you. Well, there's so many people to roll. Let's see how the producer does. Find the producer's page. They've done very well.
Oh no.
Oh dear.
But maybe the Count will do better. The Count has actually done the best of everyone. This is turning out well for you. Okay. Yes, you are. There's very much going to be an abyssal fight any second now. Cymera and the Count, you both rolled the same. You both rolled 21.
I'm probably going to drop back to be with Small. So if the Count would like to lead the charge, that's cool with me.
Yeah, I'm going to go into my pockets, take out all those remaining lip balms, because I had loads. Because if ever I've seen someone who clearly needs some kind of moisturizer on their skin, it's this lady. So I'm going to hold them out and offer them to her in exchange for letting us pass.
Is it just kind of a mute cry of adoration and homage from one monstrous creature to another?
Yeah, with a bit of a chirpy, here you are, as well.
I am going to roll your charisma persuasion and see how you do on this. Yeah. You got 15 for charisma persuasion.
Oh,
I think that what happens is the producer just looks to you, and in this voice that is as liquid as the face that's sort of dissolving and reforming around it, just rasps, "You will die last," and takes a lip balm.
Oh, favoritism.
Win.
Well, that's good. Yeah.
I'm just making a note.
Those
Dies
are some nice
last.
lip balms.
Well, yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
Cymera, are you still holding until it's small as
Yeah.
well? Cool. It's the producer next. The lip balm, again, a hand took it, but it sinks into the hand itself. It just vanishes, and you have this feeling this lip balm is possibly travelling up an arm to who knows what internal pocket of waxy goo. And a number of things are going to happen. The robe is just going to kind of dissolve off it. There's no pretense anymore about this creature trying to pretend that it's a drow. It is just a pure column of waxy, tentacly, boggly goo that looks a bit like that.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Ooh.
it's a creature of very much the nether abyss. I think it's gonna go. I mean, I hate to pick on you, Maryberry, but you do exude celestial loveliness. You are
Understandable.
radiating gorgeous holiness. What did you say your armor class was?
16?
Let's see how it does. Plus what to hit? So I'm having a look at this. Oh, +5. Okay, good news is that the first attack misses. It just tries to headbutt you. So it's boom. But clearly it's still slightly in the shape-changing face, because what it actually does is it slams into your helmet and then sort of bounces back with just the impression of your helmet waxily etched into its still rather molten skull. So that didn't work. Let's see how this other attack goes. The other attack also misses. A spindly limb sort of drifts out of the slime and just sort of thwomps across at you, and it does leave a splatter of waxy driblets down the torn arm of your destroyed cardigan. Like, if that cardigan was ever going to be salvaged, it's definitely not going to be salvaged now. But your armor does manage to deflect the attack, and that is all it is going to do for now. We are at maths. Small and Cymera.
Okay, so Cymera raises one of her two hook swords, but actually they were just there as a distraction. On the back of her hand, there's a little pile of sand, and she just goes. She's going to cast a sleep spell on the chickens.
Ah, good
Ooh.
move.
Yeah. You just need to roll a bunch of d8s, don't you?
Yes, it's 20-foot radius, 5d8.
Go for it. Let's see how many you can knock out.
4 plus 8
Nice.
plus 1 plus 2. That's 13 and 20 and 7. 20.
Of the 3 abyssal chickens that are still going, 2 of them just go straight out, straight over. It's like a sleepy rabbit has opened one eye and gone, no, I don't think so. Leaving only one abyssal chicken hopping up and down, going.
So hopefully Small can deal with one chicken, because Small is going to take off from my shoulder, holding the contract in her little claws, and head straight to the volcano.
Amazing. Let's could you roll me probably Dex acrobatics if she's in the air, just to see how she's going to do on this.
Okay, let me just get her sheet. Not that great on Dex. But she got a 14. 14?
Let's see what a chicken can do against that. She gets past the chicken. A chicken goes, trying to grab for her. I'm just going to see if the producer also takes a swipe. Oh, the producer also kind of grows a limb.
Damn.
And tries to
No.
swat Small out the air. The good news is I don't think she's going to land a killing blow. It's because no one expected a miniature version of Cymera to take off and try and dunk a contract, and like no one saw this coming. Least of all the producer. So what's going to happen is she's going to swipe it at Small, and I'm going to say Small's going to get past, but not going to get past for one more round. So it's. I think you're going to succeed. We're going to double check the hypothesis to see if Small gets hurt in the process. But touch wood, you put 2 chickens to sleep and might be about to dunk a contract.
If she takes,
I'd say that Small's past the danger zone.
if she takes damage, she's dead because she only got 1 hit point.
Cool. Well, it's a lucky that wasn't a nat 20 from the producer then, because that would have been heartbreaking. Yeah, Small's well on the way to success at this. Who is next? It is Pop.
Okay, I'm briefing Jeremy. I will produce the cheese cache, and we will wrangle briefly over a precise wage of cheese for this service. I'll explain that I need Jeremy to basically go wide, circle round, and if Small does get struck and ends up dropping the contract, it is Jeremy's solemn duty to recover the contract and get it to the edge of the lava.
D20 to see how much cheese Jeremy demands.
Ooh, I rolled an 18. I don't know if that's good for him or good for me.
Oh, I think it's probably good for Jeremy. I think Jeremy is dining out for a month on this. It's going to be one rat. Amazing. Yeah. Again, I'm going to just roll on the one standing chicken and the producer to see whether Jeremy's going to make that in one piece. Do you want to roll me Dex Athletics again and see if Jeremy's going to make it? Not Dex Acrobatics, sorry, or Strength Athletics, whichever one feels most.
I think Jeremy is more of a Dex type person than a Strength type person, being a rat. Give me a second. I'm just finding rat in the book. There we go. Oh, you know what? Jeremy is neither a Strength nor a Dex type person. Good lord. Okay, that is a 13.
Okay. He glides past the abyssal chicken. It's almost as though he's already fueled by brie. Like it's just whong, this little kind of cloud of Rochefort already glinting in his eyes. The producer did, I'm afraid, roll a 19 and is going to slam down a yellowy, waxy limb. It's not going to kill Jeremy, but it is going to pin him down. He's not going to be able to get past this. So it is currently all on Small's successful roll as this little rat is stuck beneath a waxy limb going, presumably squeaking furiously. Do you have any bonus actions, or is that the end of Pox's turn?
How far away is the producer from me?
He is within 30 feet.
Is he within 10 feet?
Probably not. I suspect the only person who was brave enough was Cymera with the hook swords.
I'll use my move to get up to some standing kind of behind Cymera so that I can potentially A, heal, and B, use my attack spores.
Amazing. That happens. Awesome sauce. It is, in fact, Mary or Leonardo's turn. Would you like to go before or after an actor?
Go first. I think I'm going to go first. So I've just peered at my book, and I want to use an action of abjure enemy.
Tell me about that.
Which is okay. So I present my holy symbol. I don't know what it is, but you know, for the sake of my own religious beliefs, let's go with an I suppose. Or we could have like the McDonald's logo. I don't know.
Rampant.
Something is held before me. Yes, 2 knitting needles. That seems the most appropriate. Okay, which is probably just a swear word, let's be honest, but I can't do that in this channel, so I won't. And then I channel divinity, and I choose one creature within 60 feet that I can see. The creature must make a wisdom saving throw unless it is immune to being frightened. Fiends and undead have disadvantage on this saving throw.
Very fiendish. She is very fiendish. They are very fiendish.
And if the abyssal being fails the save, they are frightened for 1 minute. When frightened, their speed is 0 and they cannot benefit from any bonuses. And yeah, basically they can't really move.
Some sauce. What's the saving throw? What does
Is that my spell save?
Need to roll?
DC.
Probably.
That is 13.
Okay. Let's see. Oh wow. the producer rolled a 3.
Yay!
Excellent.
You raise your knitting needles across above. You say your foul yet sacred words, and the producer just goes and just freezes in front. Can't really go backwards because there's a steaming pit of lava behind it, but definitely is just like.
Can I use a bonus action as well?
You absolutely can.
Excellent. I'm really enjoying playing a paladin. It's really fun. As a bonus action, I want to use Searing Smite, which means in my next turn, I can't use it this turn, but I can use it next turn. After concentrating for X amount of time, my weapons attack will have a bonus thing. But I will read what that is next turn if everybody's
Amazing.
still alive.
Cool. Leonardo is going to take his turn. He's going to do 2 things. Firstly, he's going to lean over to you, Mary Berry, and whisper, "You have such magnificent presence, darling. It's just, it's fabulous." And you can now add 1d6 of bardic inspiration to your roll.
Nice.
Wow.
The
Smacked my own arm with excitement.
The other thing he's going to do is cast Mirror Image. It's not a very useful spell, but as 3 copies of himself appears around him, he does stop and go, "Oh, darling," at his own splintered reflection. And that is the end of Leonardo's turn. The one standing chicken is going to make an attack. I'm actually going to go for you, Cymera, because you went for the boss with a hook sword. What's that about? What is your armor class, please?
14.
14. Let's see if a chicken can land an attack. No, it tries to bite your face off and just trips over one of its own sleeping compadres and falls face down. Let's see if it can manage a talon, though. Oh, it definitely does not. It tries to get back up. It's tangled in its own sleeping peers. This chicken ain't going nowhere.
As my
Leo.
reaction, can I zap it for D4 spore damage unless it
Yeah,
passes a
absolutely.
con save?
What does it need to save?
12.
Oh, let's see how it does. It did save, surprisingly, face down. It clearly had time to think about its life choices. It's good that chickens can make progress. That brings us back around. So the important thing I think you should know in this round is that if small does well enough, you are going to dunk that contract. So let's see how it goes. Count.
I've been incredibly touched by the plight of Jeremy. The rats and such things are part of my decor, really. So I'm going to cast Infestation at the producer. The cantrip, in the hope that the horde of rats that will then attack it will allow Jeremy to escape. I don't know whether that's possible, but that's my deepest hope.
Let's find out. So you are conjuring a swarm of rats, presumably. That swarm's
do you want me to...
Constitution saving throw. I'm going to roll a saving throw for the producer. See whether this works. Oh, biffed it. Okay, yeah, you've got your ordinary dice. Roll that. Let's see what damage happens to this producer. And he's also going to move 5 feet around a direction. This is very spicy. 4. Excitingly, someone has hurt the producer. Yeah, so a swarm of rats. Where do they come from, Count? Like, are we talking they just sort of appear out of the ether? Where are your swarm of rats materializing from?
I think I'd probably raise my arms and I'm engulfed by a deep darkness from some ether cave that no man has ever delved into. And from the rats come from there, where they're constantly bred by a chap I know called Philip, who does an excellent level of rat. They're brilliant.
Amazing. They swarm the producer, rats for days, and in its attempt to try and fight off these rats, the sticky limb that just sort of extruded from its body does raise, and Jeremy is freed.
Nice one.
Do you want to do anything else with your turn? Do you want to hide or?
Oh, could I do something else?
Could in theory hide potentially, or move somewhere. I think you've got a few options. He says, looking desperate at the paperwork.
I might move behind Mary Berry, just so I'm out of the immediate.
You are
You know.
behind a dwarf.
Yeah.
Love it.
Yeah. Yeah. I didn't think that
Absolutely
through.
happens.
Yeah.
Cymera, are you holding your turn for small again, or do you want to?
No, I'm
give it
gonna
to
cut
the-
loose with the hook sword. Actually, do I have the choice to come back up in the turn?
If you wanna.
Yeah, I'm gonna cut loose with the hook swords then.
Amazing. That's
So
fine.
first hook sword, 5 + 5 is 10. Second one, it's a critical fail. So I
Oh.
missed with both hook swords.
No, is it the opposite of cool? Do you do that thing where you bring your sword back and just bonk?
Yeah,
I'm
it's
sorry.
And then I pretend
Um,
it's what I wanted to do all along.
Yes. No one was looking. Brilliant. It is the producer's go. I think after that disgraceful display, the producer probably thinks you're a soft target, Cymera. So, what is your armor
Oh.
class?
It's 14.
14. Oh my god, it was on a nat 20 and then it rolled to a 2. Lucky escape. The first attempt to headbutt you once again misses. Bonk. And this time it's slightly more solid, but still comes back with like the shape of your horns just embedded in its face. Kind of a negative of a tiefling's horns embedded in its still somewhat liquid face. See how the second attack goes. The second attack, I'm afraid, the limb swipes in and it just connects. Wallop. It was like the producer has been playing rugby its whole abyssal life. And you are going to take, once I find the appropriate dice, 10 points of damage, I'm afraid.
Oof.
10. Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's actually good. Because I speak a hellish syllable and I deliver an infernal rebuke.
Amazing. Tell me about this infernal
It's
rebuke.
it comes with my tiefling heritage. It's as a kind of incidental bonus for my many forebears messing around with Hellspawn. I have this infernal power within me. If something injures me, I'm allowed to hit back with spite from hell
Amazing.
itself. And I'll tell you how much spite that is. That's 14 spite.
Oh,
Blimey.
what do you say that is just so hurtful that the producer recoils, going, oh.
Well, it's in the language of the Infernals, so it's Shrolgo, I think, but some people put an extra guttural in there, and I won't translate it because there's people with delicate ears. There are paladins present.
It translates as 1 star, the Scotsman.
Leonardo flinches. Mary Berry, as this happens, you can sense nothing but evil flying. The evil equivalent of two abyssal forces screaming, "Your mum! No, your mum! No, your mum!" at each other is just echoing through your divine senses.
Also, as that was the producer's turn, spore attack on the producer, please, for my reaction.
Go for it.
So, D4 damage unless she passes a con save at 12.
See if she passes a con save. She does not. Tell me your damage.
A massive 1 damage, please.
It's hard to tell whether the producer realizes that spores are embedding into her liquid flesh because she's still so insulted that you could say that about her. Just still reeling from the insult and the outrage.
I'm beginning to think this wasn't worth trading turning into a bear for, you know.
Excitingly, we are now at Small's go. Does Small want to attempt to dunk the contract?
Oh yes,
okay.
That's what she's all about.
Let's have her roll that Dex Acrobatics. I'm going to have the producer roll an opposing check, but I'm going to have it at disadvantage because the producer's being swarmed with rats, is terrified out of her mind, and has just been mortally insulted. So roll Small's Dex Acrobatics.
She's also got 0 speed.
It's got limbs everywhere. Though.
True.
That was that.
10 plus 5, 15.
With disadvantage, you have absolutely beaten the producer. Describe the last celestial, not the last, one of many, of small celestial flights out over the abyss. I'm picturing slow motion. Tell me what happens.
Yeah, it's like a scene from a Zack Snyder movie. Lots of slow motion, lots of soft focus. She does like three turns, three complete pirouettes just above the flames, and then dips it in gracefully, and then shoots vertically upwards and does a bow in the air.
Amazing. As this happens, because this is all happening in Zack Snyder slow motion with the lava just bursting majestically around in flares of light, the two other following things happen. The one remaining abyssal chicken tries to leap after it in the void and misses as Small just pirouettes around it. The producer, also terrified out of its mind of Mary Berry, tries to get away from Mary Berry, and after the contract just reaches out after it with these liquid limbs and just clearly gets the maths wrong, just massively about. The limbs get thicker and thicker and heavier, and it just tips in after the contract. So you now have in slow motion the contract descending, an abyssal chicken descending after it, beak first, and finally at last the producer diving after it. The contract is the first thing to hit the lava, and you notice that as the contract begins to burn, the producer starts to burn too, even before she too hits the lava. And in this great burst of abyssal wax and flame, contract, chicken, and producer explode.
Brilliant.
You are technically out of contract. 2 abyssal chickens will wake up in the next 30 seconds, so you might want to boot them, but
Hunt.
amazing.
I've still got Searing Smite. I could just smite the chickens while they're unconscious. It feels a bit mean, but you
It
know.
does feel a bit for a paladin.
Roll d20. Okay, so because that was roughly in the middle, wasn't too far at the extremes. Pox, if you wish to punt a chicken into the void with a good solid kick, you can. Mary Berry, you may smite the other should you so desire.
Excellent. Very exciting.
Amazing. One chicken wakes up burnt, the other wakes up celestially smited. Leonardo, by the way, is just stood behind going, "Oh, jolly good show, jolly good show. Oh, marvellous. Such an interpretation you fellows brought to the fight. Such a magnificent interpretation. I'd love to know your process one
Do you still have that cardigan?
God, it fell out of his mouth. I'm so excited.
But you'd have to guess which is the real Leonardo. There are still 4 of him.
He is a bit overexcited by this. If you wish to give him a withering look, he will very meekly just put the cardigan back in his mouth and resume signing.
Berry gives him a withering look.
Good.
Blessed silence.
I think someone needs some healing.
I took 10
Kim,
damage.
Do you want some healing?
I will. Oh, you by all means. You
No.
will.
You can heal. I'm fine with that. I've got 15 hanging about if you need it.
I'll
I
take
thought-
whatever's on offer.
I thought you might prefer being healed via the power of mushrooms than by kind of sacred light energy given your
It would
nature.
probably be better for me. No offense, but I think paladin healing might make me itch a bit.
That is, cure wounds,
I won't
9
take
points of healing.
healings.
Oh, 9 points. Excellent. That takes me back almost to my full.
While they're
Plus
doing
that.
that, I'm just going to take advantage of my bad reputation skill, which allows me to do minor criminal acts without people doing anything because they're too frightened of me. To just write my name on the cave wall in one of the Sharpies that I stole from the actors, just and with was ear underneath.
Amazing.
I can see why people are so terrified of you.
I would like opposed intelligence arcana rolls from Pox and Cymera, just to see whether this healing will cause mushrooms to start from Cymera in the future. Count, I'm going to roll this d20 to see how hard it is going to be to get the Sharpie off the wall. It is only a 2. The mystics, when they eventually return, will be a bit like, oh, another one, and just get out the spray. This happens a lot on Queen's Anne's throne. You would think that people would be better about respecting a sacred monument, but no. Cymera and Pox, how did you do?
I got 5, so I suspect I'm going to be mushroomy.
13, and I'll explain that the mushrooms they are a blessing of nature and entirely part of the natural order.
Thank you.
Amazing.
That's good to know.
You are
Think
in
of it as a detox.
Cymia's favourite word.
Yeah.
You are in a fiery pit. Would you like to return to the photo fish cake with Leonardo? Or
Yes.
Yeah.
He's worth money.
Amazing. He doesn't object because it doesn't occur to him object. He's so busy signing and drawing little pictures out. Every now and then he looks up to just look at one of his mirror images and just kind of be a bit like, yes, that's a good chin. Yes, and just signing. You return successfully without instant photo fish cake. A lot of the darkness that's hanging over the city of Edenberg has lifted, and unlucky Hughes and her flunkies are waiting for you in the tavern. As Leonardo walks in, stands up and is like, there he is. I like people who get a job done. Leonardo, I want a word with you. And he's just like, oh goodness. Oh goodness. Oh, is this about the what do you call them? The crew? I just, oh goodness. Oh, this is terribly embarrassing. And she grabs him by the scruff of the neck, like, coming with me. You're gonna learn all about Artec. Pulls him into a corner, barely remembering to slam a bag of gold down on the table. And that is the story of how you successfully sort of rescued an actor. Congratulations.
Or at least transferred him from one peril to another.
Yay. Thank
Awesome.
you so much, guys.
Thank you, Kath.
Out of curiosity,
Thank you.
while I still have you here, Cymera, if you were to recommend a book by some sort of writer, like, I don't know, M.R. Carey or something, what would, anything that would leap
Yes,
to
I would
mind?
recommend Three for the Price of War, the Rampart trilogy, Book of Coley, Trials of Coley, and
That
The Fall of Coley.
Sounds like
All
a
available.
magnificent series. Kind of post-apocalyptic adventure and hijinks.
Yep,
Amazing.
that's the sort of it.
Berry, what kind of high romance might the paladin secretly read in a bath? Kind of fantasy, gorgeous, epic romance. Anything of that ilk leap to mind?
Mary Berry doesn't look like somebody who'd read an epic fantasy about morally grey lesbians burning down an empire, but turns out she is. And it's called The Jasmine Throne, and it's out possibly now, one says. I can't
Amazing.
remember.
Pox, what kind of literary inspiration might a gnomic druid seek from some sort of writer, like, I don't know, Adrian Tchaikovsky or someone like
Well,
that?
I think Box would obviously enjoy the very recently published Shards of Earth, which is about the cycle of life, death, and rebirth, up to and including entire planets being turned into avant-garde artwork.
Amazing. Count, I know that one shouldn't read about one's own work, but if there was sort of nautical adventure or any other kind of adventures out there that the Count might enjoy reading, what do you think he'd recommend?
I think he would definitely sit down in his hammock at the end of the night on his ship, the Red Flag, and read The Bone Ships and The Bone Ship's Wake by R.J. Barker, and then be quite cross that, no, The Bone Ships and Call of the Bone Ships by R.J. Barker, and then be quite cross that The Bone Ship's Wake isn't out until September, but you can pre-order it.
Amazing. Thank you so much for your time and your literary recommendations. Have a wonderful rest of Cymera, and hopefully a wonderful summer 2021.
Thank you.
Cheers, Kath.
Thank you, guys.
Thanks,
You
everyone.
too. Thank you. Bye-bye.